Everybody, and welcome to the 25,000 subscriber special, which is going to be a Q&A answer video. It's been a long while since we did it, and I want to thank you guys so much for all the questions. Some of them were very interesting, very funny, and we're going to have a very good one. Also, in general, I just want to really thank all you guys for your support. My channel has been incredibly or growing at an incredible pace to the point where April was a record in terms of views and amount of subscribers in 1 month, and then May actually went even over that. So I just want to thank you guys so much for all of that. Is of course also mainly with Epic Arma that has been proven to be such a huge success. And even though June was a little bit less of a month, that was also because, of course, I took a break. We're back with full force with Epic Arma with, of course, the new Star Wars mod that was released. For this Q&A answer video, I will be playing Ark. I will be playing it live while answering the questions, which means that my hand-eye coordination might be a little bit off. I might pause sometimes just for random to actually answer a video. I won't be playing it for too much seriousness. It's just you know, a game that I can play, have my mind at freaking blank while concentrating on your questions, which is more important. But because of that, it is actually more important to actually listen to this than to maybe watch this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the support. Keep them comments on all the videos coming, and let's begin with the first question, shall we? The first question is from, I have my iPhone here, it's from Admiral Snackbar. What is the funnest video game you've ever played? Oh, Jesus! Not this one! Oh my god! Well, so it's a little bit difficult what you god damn it, what you mean with this. So the most funnest game, I read this question as not necessarily what my favorite game of all time is, but what is the game that I had the most fun with. Now, of course, being 25 years old, there's a whole bunch of games that I played, and it's probably going to be pretty difficult to give an accurate answer on what is the game that I had the most fun with. But if you would say a game where I laughed the most or where I really had just the most fun, it will be a Nintendo 64 game called Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was back in the day when Rare was a really good developer and they made beautiful classics like Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini, GoldenEye. And Conker's Bad Fur Day was their final game on the Nintendo 64, and it was gorgeous. I own both the Nintendo 64 version and the Xbox, the first one version, and I love both games, but of course I have the most fond memories of the Nintendo 64 one. It's just so much toilet humor and such a different style and uniqueness. The pacing was really good, where there were some puzzles involved, but each level introduced new game mechanics. The story was just all over the place, and there was tons of reference to like pop culture and movies and other games and that sort of stuff. I really love that game, and I would kill for an actual sequel that is done properly. I know that for that, I forgot what the names for that video for the Xbox One. That there's a game for Xbox One where you can make your own video games, and they added Conker's Bad Fur Day like sets that you can make, which is fun in a sort of way, but I really just want a proper sequel instead of that bullshit. I really hope that Rare will pull that off someday, but probably not, because many of the main guys actually have left Rare, and Rare just has never been the same like it was on Nintendo 64. Alright, so next question is from, what is this, Vader2556. Do you use Steam Battlefront or Disk? Steam. Next question, Delta38. When will you record Empire at War and Empire at War Forces of Corruption? I don't know, maybe someday. Next question is Magnubity Noob. Why is your name your name? So this is indeed a very interesting question on why I called my channel Konoha. Back in the day when there was an MMO called Star Wars Galaxies, which is an MMO I absolutely adore, and I think it's way better than the Old Republic. back in that day, that was before World of Warcraft existed. But I remember when I was, I think 12 or 11 when I played that game, and I never played an MMO before, so my imagination just went all apeshit when I created my own character in the whole Star Wars universe, and I got to interact with all the famous characters and got to visit all the famous places. And I'm going to die again. Oh my god. But basically, I had to make a character with a history, and up until that point, of course I played a lot of games, but not a whole lot of games where I really had to choose the character or create a character that was unique to me. Of course, I played things like Final Fantasy, where you could name your character, but I always used the vanilla name. Legend of Zelda, same thing, you know, I always called the character Link, whereas you could actually name the character whatever you wanted. But with Star Wars Galaxies, for the very first time, I was forced to make up a avatar, a character that was not me in real life. And so, I remembered reading an article in a game magazine about a game called Klonoa, which is a 2D platformer of a cute cat-looking like thing. Not the cat on my YouTube avatar, by the way. That is something different. But basically, I took that name, Klonoa, took out the L, and that became my name. The 0 in my YouTube name, the reason why that is because Klonoa without a 0 already exists, unfortunately. It is, I believe, a channel that doesn't really do much. So I kind of don't like that, but I was forced to, and I'm happy with the way this goes. If you search on YouTube Klonoa without a 0, you will still find me as the first thing to pop up, so that is actually very convenient for me. So yeah, that actually explains my name. I don't think that question has been asked before, so, you know, that's why. Now we got Rowdy the Domination Boys, Jax. Where do you get these names, people? What kind of series are you going to come up here soon? Do you think you will start something like Epic Arma? Like, do you think one of your upcoming series will be as popular? Now, one thing I am kind of proud of with my channel is that, and of course, I'm doing, in real life, I'm doing a education to become a film director. And I do have to say that I am very creative. And I am kind of good at making certain series or coming up with new sort of ideas for series that make it work. That usually evolve around a certain gimmick, like for example Epic Arma that revolves around big epic battles. How many units can I place here, and with different types. You got the Battlefront reviews, of course, that were done with voice. You know, no one was doing reviews with voice. I was the first one that did that. And though maybe I'm not able to do, you know, to come up with something creative every month or so, I do have some ideas. For example, I do really love, that is an aspect of Epic Arma, the World War II thing that we're doing, where I go to Wikipedia to read about all the small battles in chronological order of World War II and try to recreate that. Some of those aspects are just really, really cool to me. And basically, one thing that I've been really wanting to do badly is, since I live here in Japan, there is something called the YouTube Space building here. YouTube Space is, well, as I said, a building owned by YouTube, and I believe there are only like 6 or 7 around in the world. I believe one is in London, there are several in America, and there's one here in Japan. I believe they are going to make new ones, or maybe they already did. But basically, what you can do if you have, I believe, more than 1,000 subscribers, or maybe it's 10,000, I don't know, you can actually go to the YouTube headquarters, or the YouTube Space there, and if you reserve beforehand, you can use their studio equipment, costumes, makeup, all for free for your YouTube channel. So they have, you know, they have the best green screens, they have studios where you can shoot good equipment, they have workshops there, you know, instructors that can help you out with stuff. And what I really want to do, as I said, I actually want to become a film director in real life, is actually make some real life skits for this channel. And what I've been thinking about is actually doing a Star Wars skit where we have several stormtroopers. Not too many though, because stormtrooper armors are incredibly expensive to buy or rent. But basically have like 3 or 4, and they'll be like the gaming squad on the Death Star. And one of them is going to be like my persona. It's going to be Kanoa, or whatever the code name will be for that stormtrooper, where he is a somewhat failed Let's Player on the Death Star, and the episodes will be only like 2 or 3 minutes. And you get all into like funny situations with like Lord Vader, or up to the release of the new Star Wars movie, or you know, trailer reactions or something. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that, and I have a lot of ideas for it. The only problem is that getting Star Wars or getting Stormtrooper armor is incredibly expensive, and you know, I need a lot of people to get this to work. But I really should look more into this YouTube space idea, since I can use all that stuff for free since my channel is so big now. So I really should go there. I was first worried with copyright rules, because of course you know, Star Wars is owned by somebody else, but College Humor did several skits with stormtroopers, and I think the skit where the stormtroopers talk about the Death Star as if it was 9/11 inspired me to actually want to make skits like this. So yeah, I hope, actually there are no plans for that in the making, but I really hope that I can get that to work. I am actually 6'2", by the way, my height, so I doubt I will be able to actually fit in a stormtrooper armor. But what will happen then is I will have friends or actors play out while I direct the skits, and then actually have my voice, you know, in post-production, have it edited over all the action. So yeah, maybe hopefully in the future, if I can make that to work, I think it will be really, really awesome. I have a lot of cool ideas for that. In terms of gaming, currently not. Of course there are things like, you know, Battlefield 2042 reviews or that sort of stuff, but I was like, well, that's a little bit too much like Battlefront. You know, I want something more unique with a unique twist. Oh, actually, I got something really good for Far Cry 4, but I need a co-op partner for that. I was talking to Kanawa about that, because I kind of wanted to check things out. But basically, well, I'm not going to spoil it. You may actually see it in the future. Also, Far Cry 4 is still pretty expensive, so I'll see when that comes up. Next question is, Against the World Gaming, what do you think of Star Wars Battlefront 3, and will you do Star Wars Battlefront 1 mods? I would love to do Star Wars Battlefront 1 mods, but I think that the chances of those will be very small. I do not own Star Wars Battlefront on disc for PC, and I believe it's not available on Steam, and I'm not going to download it illegally. Now, there are some very unique and cool mod maps for that. Some of them have been ported to Battlefront 2, but no, I probably will not do Battlefront 1 reviews. In terms of what do I think... Oh, wait, what's your question? What do you think of Star Wars Battlefront 3? So, unfortunately, because some stupid copyright issues with fucking Danger Zone, my E3 EA video got blocked in the US. I kind of forgot to make the other video where I would still share my opinion, but I guess now is the chance. So, what do I think of Battlefront 3? I do say I did like what I saw in terms of graphics. The sounds were amazing, animations were good. However, in terms of the animation, it did remind me too much of Battlefront 4 and Battlefront Hardline, where... What the fuck? I thought I was alone on this island. It's weird. Anyway, one thing that I'm very worried about is when I looked at more trailers, is how quickly you die. This is something not mentioned until now about anyone I heard about who played it at E3, but one thing you have to admit with Battlefront is that Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2, it takes a little longer for you to die. The pacing of the game is a little less quick than, say, a Call of Duty, and it is more comparable to a Battlefield 1942, you know, of some of the older style battlefields. But what they basically did is they took the Battlefield 4 formula and they put a Star Wars sauce around that, and I'm not too sure if I'm too fond of that, because instead of now being a successor of Battlefront, it is really a successor of Battlefield, just with a Star Wars facelift. I heard that the flying is incredibly obnoxious when you play with a controller, which I'm not probably gonna do. But one thing that I was really disappointed by is that things like flying are actually like battle pickups or whatever it's called. Like you get an upgrade if you get a certain kill or do something, and then you are automatically teleported to the flying vehicle. I don't like that. I believe that it's quite charming to actually be in a hangar, an X-wing or a Y-wing, and to lift off and, you know, go towards the battlefield instead of just spawning in the pilot seat. Also, my fear was indeed true, where when I heard that they only would do... How many players is it? Is it like 24? Was it 24? I don't remember now. Or is it 40? But that the maps would be too small. And I've heard from several websites now that if you are in a flying vehicle, that very soon you need to turn around your vehicle because you're already at the edge of the map. Flying is not fun in that game, apparently, and that is something that I really am worried about. They said that the Hoth map that we got the demo of, people that actually played it said that it was actually really small, and literally every review or hands-on that I saw of the E3, of several sites, several Dutch sites, several English sites, have been very mediocre, and I'm very worried about that, because if people that do not have something with the Star Wars thing already think it's mediocre, that is going to be a little bit worrisome. Of course, Star Wars fans will have, you know, the pink glasses on, where like, ooh, it's Star Wars, you know, that automatically makes it a little bit cooler. But the ones that don't actually have something with Star Wars can look more at it as a neutral thing. And like I said, when they are actually quite negative about the game, I'm really worried. Actually, I was talking about the pink glasses. A lot of Star Wars fans or Star Wars Battlefront fans, you know, actually are extra hateful to the game. You know, they really despise because DICE has changed the formula so much. But what I'm saying is that the ones that are neutral, that don't really have something with Star Wars, their opinions matter more here, or that a little bit of a Star Wars fan, their opinions matter more here because they don't carry that emotional baggage with them. And like I said, every little thing that I heard, or every review that I heard, is mediocre. So, oh man, I don't think that game's going to be all that great. I'm also very worried about like the single player thing. The co-op thing looked pretty interesting, but it doesn't seem like DICE or EA is putting their full 100% behind this project. It feels more to me like a rushed thing, like to get it out before the movie comes out, and I'm really worried. Hopefully the quality of like the online networking code will be good. Next question is XK's what a name. Do you think you'll get to the point where your fan base would grow more and will start eventually meeting your fans and taking pictures with them? Haha! Nice that you asked this. This has already happened. So, last month? Or maybe it was 2 months ago. I think it was last month. Last month, a subscriber of mine by the name of Tyler came to Japan, and he posted a message on one of my videos if he wanted to meet me, and I was like, sure, you know. He, of course, had limited time here. Of course, if it would be okay with my schedule, we would meet in Shibuya and hang out there, and so we did. I think we met on a Friday or something, and we had lunch, we had sushi, and then we went to an arcade. My girlfriend was actually also there, and we just had a blast. We played a lot of video games. We played Mario Kart, we played a Japanese drum game, also like a horror shooter like House of the Dead kind of thing. It was a blast. I mean, I would love to meet you guys, but the big problem is that I live in Japan, which you know, most of my subscribers are American. But definitely, if you are coming to Tokyo, you know, hit me up. Hit me with a message like, "Hey, Kanoa, I'm gonna be here on this and this and this date. Do you have time then?" And sure, I'll give you some other way to contact me next to the YouTube comments, because that might be easier from your hotel room or something. But yeah, no, I would love to meet you guys. You know, I had a blast with Tyler, and I would definitely, I'm up for doing it again with many of you people here. But like I said, it's just difficult because I live in Japan. It's actually one of the things I really do like about living here is that, for example, I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I used to actually I have a YouTube channel where I would talk about Japanese, oh god. Where we would talk about Japanese culture, youth culture, fashion, that sort of thing. And the biggest subscriber population of mine were women, and when I would go out here in Japan, I would actually be recognized by a lot of girls who, well, I said a lot, I've been recognized maybe 4 times or something, by people who was like, hey, aren't you that guy with that YouTube channel? And I said, yeah, I had back at the time I had 1,000 subscribers, so I have 25 as many now. But here in Japan, of course, because my channel is not Japan focused and in English, you know, I can you know, live freely here like any other. In fact, when PewDiePie, who is of course the biggest one out there, comes here in Japan, I noticed that he's not being recognized that much. Whereas when he went to Singapore, like, people were waiting outside of his hotel room and screaming like he was Justin Bieber or Michael Jackson or somebody, you know? It was ridiculous. So I would definitely not want that sort of like status where everybody keeps following you and stalking you. But, you know, if you see me around someday, you definitely hit me up, and I would love to hang out with you guys. Maybe go to Akihabara or something, play some video games together. That would be nice. So yeah. Next question. What is the next question? From Stacy Shu. How much is your computer? Because I was looking for a good computer to play games on. This is very interesting. In the Epic Arma Zombies video that I did with Cody, a lot of people were having a discussion about how much a PC should be for it to work well. Mostly also because my video was very laggy with over 500 units on screen, which isn't really surprising because the engine cannot take that. But anyway, price has nothing to do with it. And I'll tell you why. My current PC was $2,000. I would say a little bit less because I got the monitor with it. So let's say 1,800 bucks. And I bought it in 2012, in May 2000. Oh, Jesus Christ! May 2012, and I think if today you would buy a PC that was $1,000, you would have a PC that is better than mine. I have a lot of memory, though. I think I maxed it out pretty much all the way. Then I have 16 gigs of memory and stuff. But basically, price has nothing to do with it. I mean, currently I am actually saving up money for a new PC as well, especially when all the big blockbusters are coming out this year. I am actually able to play The Witcher on all graphics maximum except the hair physics and still get 30 frames per second, which is enough for me. I'm not one of those elitists that actually wants to play video games or can only play video games when they're 60 frames per second. I think that is absolute bullshit. But I am probably going to go for a, let's say, 1,800 to 1,000-ish price tag. Shai was talking about $4,000, which I think is fucking ridiculous, and I don't need that shit. I think if you're going for a gaming PC, I think you should go for a PC that is between, let's say, 1,200 and 1,500 bucks, and I think you're good. Of course, if you do YouTube, you know, you get a lot of ratings, you know, if frames are not working too well and stuff like that. So then your price tag will indeed go a little bit up. So then I would say look more towards the 2,000-ish price range. But I really do think that you don't need to go over $2,000 for a good PC. Now then again, I do say I do not have things like SLI and stuff on my PC. But like I said, I can still play The Witcher on maximum and enjoy it at its full potential. So yeah, I would say if you are pretty much casual on that, just do something with 1,200 or 1,500 bucks. And there's a scorpion here. Ah! What is a scorpion doing in this fucking forest? They're supposed to be in the mountains. What the fuck? Oh. I fainted. Great. Scotty asks, did you play any sports when you were a kid? And will you be doing Star Wars Battlefront 3 videos when it comes out? Yes, I will be doing Star Wars Battlefront 3 videos. I actually been getting this question a lot. I do have to say I don't really understand why I've been getting this question, because it's pretty logical that I would do it, because Battlefront was my biggest thing on my channel. My biggest thing now is Epic Arma. But you know, I'll definitely be doing it. And in terms of sports, I did Taekwondo back when I was younger, but that was a long time ago. Not too much after that. I went to pretty weird school, an awesome school actually, but it used to be a I don't know, a cloister for like Christian priests, and so it looks kind of like Hogwarts in terms of looks. But basically, because it was sort of like a fancy, posh-looking school, we actually had fencing as well. So I did some fencing. But yeah, I didn't really do too much sport back when I was younger. Currently, I do some weightlifting, also because I do some acting and some modeling here in Japan. So I'm not planning to really be also buff like a gorilla. But you know, a little bit of some muscles is good, so I do some weightlifting. I actually have an aero bike, or fuck, I don't know. It's in Japanese. It's called an aero bike. I have that, so whenever I watch Game of Thrones or something else, I'm on the. Oh, it's a treadmill maybe? No, treadmill's for walking. Fuck it, I don't know. I don't know what to call it in English. Basically the bicycle thing, I do that while watching, and it's really good. But of course, now that I broke my foot, I haven't been doing that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I've been drinking a lot of Coke and gummies because, you know, I feel well, I don't feel shitty at all, but you know, I can't work, so I've been getting you know, a little bit chubby. You know, them acne is coming out when I eat another gummy or so, but you know, I don't. It gives me motivation to get on that bicycle again when this is all over. Next question is some Halo guy asks, will you ever make a Halo Let's Play? I would love to. Though I'm not the biggest Halo fan, I did play Halo 1, 2, 3, and ODST with, well, let's say Halo 1, 2, 3 with a lot of enthusiasm. And, oh, I did actually play Halo Reach as well. Though I don't own it, but my friend owned it, and we played co-op together all the way through. And I have a lot of fun memories of that. The very first Halo was actually the very first and probably the only game that me and my friends used to play LAN back in the day. Back in the day when we had the huge TVs, not the flat screens that we have today, we would actually, one friend would actually bring a TV from their home, and we would have 2 Xboxes, link them together, and have like 4 versus 4 Halo 1 matches, and it was just magic. I mean, we were 14, 13 back then. Oh, what a glorious time that is. I mean, that was before Xbox Live, people. Xbox Live did not exist back then, so that was my very first semi sort of like online experience. I experienced online things, of course, on PC, but never on console before, where this was the closest thing where, you know, before this I could always do like 4-player split screen, and now suddenly we were playing, you know, 4 versus 4, so it was double the sometimes we would have like potato chips and Cokes and other sorts of junk food, and oh, just glorious times. And we did the same thing with Halo 2 after that, but of course Xbox Live already existed, but that very first time was just, it was magic. It was a magical time. So what I understood was, with the coming of Windows 10, you would be able to stream Xbox games or something. So in theory, I would be able, when when the Windows 10 comes out, I will be able to play or stream all Halo games to my PC. So I would be able to record them. So yes, if that's all possible, yes, I will do a Halo Let's Play. Be assured that I've never played Halo 4, so up until then, all Let's Plays will not be blind. Clone Guy 901 asks, I've been watching you when you had 50. Oh, thank you so much for the support through all those years. I appreciate that very much. Question 1, what is your favorite MMO? My favorite MMO has got to be the MMO Terra. It is a game I currently cannot play, unfortunately. It is available on Steam, but they have a server lock, which they actually at first did not. I was already living in Japan when that game was released, and I remember that I could play it without any trouble. I stopped playing it because, as many MMOs, I kind of got bored because I played on my own, about, I don't know, 20 hours in or so. And I really love the aesthetic style, you know, the sexy girls, the incredible looking cities and monsters that were just big ass and stuff. The type actually was even better than that, what was that fucking game, Blade and Soul, that I played with Cody not so long ago. I actually prefer Terra a lot over that. I think there's a lot more content available there. But mostly the battle system in Terra is amazing, where you actually have collision detection, where, for example, a tank, who normally only use taunts to actually protect his teammates, has to physically stand in front of his teammates with his shield up to protect them, and that is just very cool. You actually have some different combos you can do, and just everything was really cool about it. And I would have loved to actually play that with Cody and Alec, but unfortunately currently the servers are region locked, and I cannot play when I'm not in America or Europe, so it really sucks. What is your next question? We're not done yet with clone guy. If they make Crisis 4, what will you want? I would want to go back to an island, not this city shit, or half city, half island shit. Get me back to an island. Give me this. Give me this shit. Give me dinosaurs. I want Crisis with dinosaurs. Give me that. Oh my god, I love Ark so much. Give me Crisis with dinosaurs. What game are you getting this year? It's too easy to say Battlefront, so let me think for a moment. What would I else be getting? Fallout 4. But of course, Fallout 4, the biggest prize, that will kill everything. I believe actually, I don't know. Does the new Hitman come out this year, or is that next year? If the Hitman comes out this year, I will definitely be getting that. You have got to be kidding. Is that another raptor? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, what? Oh, it's a Carnosaur. Let's see. Oh, I will also be getting, I forgot what it's called. Soma? Not Soma, something. Sioma? The new horror game from the makers of Amnesia. And hopefully this will actually be good. I hated Amnesia Machine for Pigs, which was not completely done by them. They were done by the guys who made Dear Esther. But this is actually the game that they made. But I already heard some things. I didn't see the trailer, just to avoid spoilers, because it's a horror game, and of course atmosphere and things are so important, so I really don't want to know anything. But I did hear things from people that played it that it actually wasn't that scary. And of course, maybe on the E3 they didn't want to spoil the monster or whatever it is that's chasing you, but they said that they weren't very frightened that much, and that was, you know, also the case with Machine for Pigs, which wasn't scary at all. So I'm a little bit worried there that they actually lost their touch, and that the very first Amnesia was just a, I don't know how to say it, it was just a one-hit wonder, and that they not able to do that same magic twice. The Airsoft King is, hey Kanoa, what's your real name? My real name is Max. I will be actually in Fallout 4. They said that they had the 100 or 1,000 most popular names being able to be mentioned by your robot. I would assume that the name Max is in there, since it's actually the most popular name for dogs. So it's also got to be kind of up there for like people or stuff. So you know, it better be in there. I do not have any meat. So yeah, no, my real name is Max, and and I might actually be calling my character there Max instead of Kanoa. I'm not too sure yet. I'm getting this shit. I'm gonna die. Anyway, the Killer Ghost asks. Oh no, wait. No, we're not here. Cinia, how or why did you start with YouTube? And you got any plans for your YouTube channel? The big channel, or the big plans that I have, I already talked about in the video with the Stormtrooper skits. But why did you start YouTube? So this is very interesting. This goes all the way back to, I would say, 2008. I saw this guy called Stormzink who had a YouTube channel, and he was a very obnoxious guy. Very, very annoying dude who gave his opinion about video games and who did reviews, very amateuristic. And I'm going to be very arrogant here and just say that I saw his videos and I thought, well, I can do better. I already had a lot of experience with making videos and sort of that, and so I really wanted to make a channel where I would do reviews of video games as well, or just talk about it in terms of like a podcast sort of thing. Because of that, I didn't want to do that alone. Because though I do love talking about video games a lot, I did want a partner to talk with, so that we can kind of play into each other. So me and a good friend of mine back in Holland, we actually made plans to make a YouTube channel like that. Back then I didn't know what Let's Plays were, so what we came up with was to just film ourselves talking about video games and giving our opinions, and not show any gameplay footage because of copyright issues, of course. I thought, like I said, I didn't know about Let's Play, so I didn't know you could actually show footage. We even made an intro. We came up with a name. It was called Game R, Gamer, sort of that, Game R. And yeah, like I said, we even made an intro. But the friend actually would move to a different city pretty recently after that intro, and so we kind of gave up on the idea, and it kind of made me sad because I always wanted to do that. Back in 2006, I actually already made a YouTube channel where I would do AMVs, music videos, that sort of stuff. I actually did make a Star Wars video. It's not up there anymore because I've got copyright issues. But back in the day, I did it really amateuristic, where I would film from the TV screen. But basically, you know, my YouTube history goes all the way back to 2006. Then in 2008 or 2009, I made a YouTube channel where I would make videos about Japanese culture and my trips to Japan. And then in the year that I would move to Japan, actually it might be, no, yeah, back in 2011, that's when first Let's Plays really got onto the radar for me. I started watching things like the Yogscast and the Creatures, and it really got me psyched to do something like that. And so I had plans to actually do a Let's Play channel for a long while in that year. But I also knew that I would be going to Japan in like 2 or 3 months, so I would withhold from starting a Let's Play channel until I would move to Japan, because my PC back in Holland was really old. I was not able to play a lot of the newest games. And what I had intended was I would go to Japan, would first play on my father's laptop, which was pretty good back then, and then when I got enough money, buy a PC of my own. And that's pretty much what happened. Back when, oh my fucking god. What now? Raptors suck! What was I talking about? Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. I went to Japan. It took me a full month to get everything set up. October 25th, the very first video went up, and yeah, no, I started doing Let's Play, and it started out really slow. You know, it took me, I've said this so many times before, it took me 8 months to get 50 subscribers. And I didn't care. I just withhold. I loved doing the Let's Play videos so much that I just continued. And I've talked to so many people already who, when they hear my stories about YouTube, they want to start a YouTube channel as well. And you know, a lot of them don't realize how long it can take for a YouTube channel to really, you know, really blow up. And that's kind of what happened to my channel, and not in ways to where, for example, it happened to like Markiplier or PewDiePie, where they surged and became world famous, but thanks to some videos like my DayZ video where I got robbed, or several Battlefront videos or Epic Arma videos. You know, I just got huge boosts of subscribers, and it got me to this point where I'm definitely not a huge channel, but I'm definitely way bigger than the average YouTube channel out there. Been getting a lot of money too, which really helps the living conditions here in Japan, which is very expensive. You know, I'm a poor student, so that definitely helps. And your support, of course, also is very, very important. And I just love doing it. I have no regrets. I really, really wanted this. People always say, and I get so annoyed by this when they say this. Things like Markiplier say this. They always say, I never intended to be like this big or something, or to take YouTube so serious. I just wanted to do this because I thought it would be funny, or for myself, blah, blah, blah. I'm just straight up gonna admit it. I started YouTube because I wanted to take this very serious. I wanted to you know, get my channel big, get it out there. And, you know, I was really hardened about it. I fought to get to this point. And I have no regrets. All right, next question. Of the Killer Ghost, what is your favorite game and what are you looking forward to play? I will actually not, good question, but I will not spoil what my favorite game is, because I'm thinking for my 30,000 subscriber special to do actually a top 10 of my favorite games of all time. However, if you want to know what my favorite game is, I'm going to give you a hint. I actually mention it in one of the E3 videos. So some of them are, most of them are longer than an hour, so good luck finding them. But in one of the E3 video specials, I actually do mention what my favorite video game of all time is. And I mentioned in other videos as well, but I have over 4,000 videos on my channel, so, you know, good luck finding that. But, yeah, no. Yeah, please wait a little bit more until I hit 30,000, and you will see it in a top 10 form. Captain Shoe, I think you should start in your own reaction channel. I liked when you reacted to the E3s. So this is very interesting, and I'm glad you asked this, because my E3 specials were a huge success, except for, of course, the EA one, which got blocked for the US people. But I was really happy that it worked out so well. I got it all set up to where it works fine, and it is indeed true that I can now do other reaction stuff to things like trailers, reveals, that sort of thing. And I definitely do want to do that. So, for example, when the Star Wars trailer was released, where they or the second trailer was released for Star Wars Force Unleashed, I really wish I could have actually done a reaction video on that, because I flipped my shit when I saw, you know, an old Han Solo. But what I also want to avoid is to become a fully reaction channel. There's a lot of examples out there of people who actually, you know, made really good content in the beginning, and then shows the way of only doing react videos because it's so easy. Because I'm not gonna lie, doing Let's Play videos is very easy. You know, a lot of people say, I put a lot of time in this, I put a lot of work in this, blah, 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 blah. Sure, it takes a lot of time to like do editing and stuff, but there's a lot of waiting involved for doing the editing or rendering and that sort of stuff. Really, if you compare it to a fucking office job, it is so easy. I mean, so many people, you know, make it sound bigger than what it is. But it is true that Let's Plays are more work than reaction videos. Reaction videos is literally you watch other people's content, say what you think live at that thing, and then upload a video. Boom, that is it. It is the easiest money next to like things like ASMR crap, which actually ASMR crap, some people have scripts and that sort of stuff. There's actually more stuff involved there. Oh god, I'm hungry. Shit. Ah! It's not good. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna die here. Doesn't help that I can't see shit. There was a YouTube channel called Akasan, which was this black freaking Bob Marley looking motherfucker, who was doing pretty interesting videos about living in Japan. He still lives there. He lives in a city called Fukuoka, and he I don't know what the fuck he did, but basically the thing that he does for, I don't know, the last few months is doing only reaction videos. And I don't know, I see that and I'm kind of shaking my head like, dude, you know, you were one of those people that made some good content, and now you just choose the easy way out, and I think it's kind of bullshit. And I definitely don't want that. So I do definitely like to do reaction videos because a lot of people do like to see it. I mean, I do like to see the Fine Brothers or whatever they're called, the YouTube the things that do YouTubers react. I do like to watch that, and so I would definitely do more of these reaction videos in the future. When, for example, Gamescom presentations are there, or a really cool new trailer for a Star Wars thing is there or something, but I won't be doing it all the time. So definitely expect more reactions in the future, but it's definitely not going to dominate my channel, which I think is a really, really good thing. Oh, hey, doo-doo. Actually, no. Shit! Please tell me I can get flint from this rock. No, I cannot. Oh, shit. That was very dumb. I'm gonna die. I hit a very big dinosaur. A Triceratops. Never do that, kids. That'll fuck you up. I think I spawned in the west. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. What is the next question? From Reno Party, or Partey, where you come from? I come from Holland. Commander Wolf asks, after the Dawn of War 2 story, will you play Dawn of War 2 Retribution story? Yes. Andrew Gonzalez asks, how many subscribers do you think you will have by the end of the time you do YouTube? Also, how long are you planning on doing YouTube? Well, I am planning to do YouTube as long as I can, or as it allows me to. I love it very, very much. I do it with a lot of pleasure. I mean, sometimes, you know, there are times where, you know, I'm a little bit busy, school things or vacation, but, you know, it's always good to come back after maybe a 1 or 2 week break. Oh my god, I need flint for that shit? Fuck me. But yeah, no, I will definitely be doing YouTube for as long as I can for the coming years. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jesse Cox, and I think Jesse Cox is like 34, 35, so that's like 10 years older than I am. So, you know, seeing as he is still doing that magic, I would definitely say, well, 10 more years at least, if YouTube is still so popular back then. So I'll just keep this thing going. And how many subscribers do I think I have? I don't know. I will have 35,000 or over 35,000 by the end of this year. So hopefully next year 50,000. So I would expect to have more than 100,000 subscribers. You know, by the end. Next question is Hellraiser of Nerf 5534. Will there be a giveaway? Yes. Peppered P, will you do a Let's Play Fallout 4? Yes. Solar Biscuit, what recording software do you use? I use Deadgear, but I would still recommend Fraps more because it's more stable. The reason why I use Deadgear is because the size of the files is a lot less big than Fraps, so it allows me to record more. Bosscott MT asks, what do you think are the best or some of the best aspects of the new Battlefront, and what's some of the worst? One thing that I really want to talk about quickly, since you guys actually didn't see that reaction of mine on the EA video, one thing that I found really weird about it is that they used Luke Skywalker from the Return of the Jedi movie instead of the pilot one that actually is there in the Battle of Hoth. I thought it was a very small detail where I thought, huh, that's kind of weird. But what are some of the best aspects? Well, obviously the sound and the graphics. I mean, it looks amazing. The map might be small, but just the textures and oh wait, oh that's dumb. Yep, that's dumb. Anyway, so definitely the textures, or the graphics, sound. I don't think there's modding support. I think that is one of the worst things. Map size, I think one of the worst things because it's so small. Co-op can be fun. That's one of the better aspects. That is a thing I think that can be actually very, very cool. Looking forward to that. What will be another thing I'm looking forward to, or best aspect? I think that's it. I don't know. It's really I'm really kind of worried about the game. My initial reaction when I saw it in the EA presentation was actually a lot more positive than it is now. When I actually got to digest the trailer more and actually came to my own conclusion, to where you die really, really quickly. And I'm really afraid that that will actually ruin a lot of the gameplay experience, because that's actually one of the reasons why I really hate Call of Duty, where you spawn, you die like that, and then you spawn again, you die like that, and you die. Actually, that's an aspect that some of my friends actually really love. They think Battlefield is a too slow pace, so they prefer Call of Duty because they can, if they die, they can respawn so quickly. But it's actually an aspect that I do not like. So you kind of see how tastes different in that way. Uh-oh, why are you running? Is there something evil there? That's a Dilophosaurus. No problem. Oh, God damn it. But yeah, size of the map, flying. Oh, got me very worried. Got me very worried. I think we're gonna make spear. Next question is Rafi Uru says, congratulations for the 25,000 subs. Thank you. And what is your opinion on Japan? I love Japan, but I am also very proud of not being a weeboo. A weeboo is somebody, well, the definition differs kind of from person to person, but for me, a weeboo is somebody that loves Japan unconditionally. The comparison or the example, how I always explain to people what a weeboo is as follows. If you would ask somebody, or if you would show somebody two kimonos, which are the traditional clothing wear in Japan, if you would show that to a weeboo, and you would ask, which one is better, this one or that one? The weeboo would say, both of them are good because they're both Japanese. They're both Japanese, or they're cool because of Japanese, is not a valid argument. I love Japan because there are certain aspects of the culture, like for example the fact that Tokyo and Osaka and those sort of cities are very, very modern, very high tech, but there are still a lot of traditional elements in there, with a lot of temples, a lot of matsuris, festivals, where they dress up in old traditional clothing, way more than we, for example, have in Holland, where we actually don't do anything in that traditional. But a weeboo would just say, oh no, you know, Japan, because Japan is the coolest, and Japan can do nothing wrong, and blah 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 blah. So I live here, for example, and I definitely do think that there are several things wrong with Japan. In Japan, actually, the wage or the income for women is less than for men, because well, fuck it, they're women, so you deserve less. This is pretty much what they think. A big scandal, I think it was last year or the year before, was that a female politician here in Japan, I don't know, she was holding a presentation or something in a conference room about this issue, and several male people of the opposition shouted at her like that she needed to get married quickly and needed to have children instead of sitting up there and berate them. And it's just, Japan's a really sexist country, so you know, it definitely has its negative stuff, and I'm not afraid to actually admit that. But I do love Japan, and I think it is definitely the most awesome place that I've ever been to. It is very safe. The people are very nice, very polite, are able to help you really quickly. Like I said, I'm not a weeboo, so I'm not also only a fan of Tokyo. I've been around Japan a lot, actually, to the point where I hear a lot of people say, or Japanese say, that I've been to more Japanese places than a lot of Japanese. And yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in several aspects of it. I'm interested in the food culture. I'm interested in history, in modern day culture. So there's a lot of aspects of Japan that really appeal to me. I used to love anime, not as much anymore, but like I said, I really, really fucking hate weeboos. And I'm just really happy that I'm not one of them. It actually to the point where I know that a lot of weeboos would not be able to live here in Japan, because living here in Japan can be actually quite lonely, especially during things like Christmas and stuff, because it's so different. And it does actually. I've studied Japanese culture in Holland and at a university in a town called Leiden. And God, there are a lot of weeboos out there, and they all say, "Oh yeah, no, I want to go to Japan later on," and blah blah blah. And they've never been there, and my interest for actually living in Japan came when I actually had visited it several times on vacation. Before that, I had no interest in Japan, no interest in Japan. I loved anime and that sort of stuff, but I never got the feeling or something to actually go here and live here. But then when I got here and got to see how nice the people were and how I was fascinated with everything in their cultural aspects, I decided to come here. Of course, I also, Japanese girls are also very cute and hot and that sort of stuff. So that's also a good thing about it. Alright, what do we got? Commander Gree, what is your very first video ever? That is of Half-Life 1. Half-Life Source, I should say. Which was a horrible pick. Horrible pick, because there were so many videos already out there. So my very first video got, of course, swallowed in an ocean of rival Let's Play videos out there. But the very first completed Let's Play that I did was of Battlefront 2, so that actually really was a big important step for my my YouTube channel. Next up is Eric the Asshole. Has it been difficult to make your videos entertaining when you're doing them by yourself? Do you get more views when you have friends in the video too? Or we have friend and then or friends in the video too. How do you do commentary and does it feel kind of awkward talking to a microphone? No, this is a very good question. I'm very glad you asked this. So one thing that actually happened, and I talked to my my friends in Holland about this, is that I've been doing commentary now for so long, it's been almost going for 4 years straight, that I cannot play single-player games anymore without doing commentary. It's horrible. I love it at one side, but I also hate it. So, for example, when the new Dragon Age comes out, or when the new Witcher comes out, Witcher Wild Hunt, I do want to play it really badly, but I want to do it for my YouTube channel. I want to do it with commentary because I want to kind of share my my first blind experience with it. Because of that, I keep holding those games off, and I really harden too. Like I said, I own Far Cry 3, I own Far Cry 4. I've never played them. Actually, I do not own Far Cry 4, but I'm gonna buy it. But I really want to play them. But I first got to go with since I do everything chronologically, I first gonna go through Far Cry 2. And I don't know, commentating videos really has changed the way that I play video games. I used to do it all the time, of course, silent back in Holland, and I used to love that. And now I just cannot do that anymore. Especially story-driven games. I mean, city builders and stuff, I will do that while listening to a podcast or something. But dear God, big single-player games that are coming out, I will not play them the first time without doing commentary. It really has changed the way I do things. And in terms of is it difficult to make them entertaining? That of course also is depending on your subscriber base. So PewDiePie's subscribers are, for example, very different than Jesse Cox's subscribers, and so what they find entertaining is very different. It is the same thing with cutting. I actually really like it that my videos are uncut to the point where you will see a lot of... Well, the pacing is slower. For example, in Dark Souls, there's a part where I go the wrong way, and for probably 10 episodes, I am going the wrong way. And so you already have people that scream out, "No, don't go that way!" at the beginning of that journey that eventually will have a dead end. But, you know, Dark Souls is such an unforgiving game that I actually really like that aspect of it. And I actually find it annoying when I watch other people's videos and I see a lot of cutting in there. I kind of want to witness the struggle with them. That's why, for example, I prefer the older videos of PewDiePie or Markiplier and that sort of stuff, where they would actually show you their whole journey of a Let's Play, instead of what they do now, where they do basically these short videos or these one episode videos, you know, of games. The reason why they do that, by the way, has its logics, because your very first video of a certain series gets the most views by far. After that, it always goes downhill. The reason why is that you have a lot of people that will watch your first video that don't know anything about the game, that are interested, but then that they decide, oh well, this game is really not for me, I'm not going to continue watch this, and so you will have a huge drop. Usually it's 50%. Sometimes it's also over that of a difference between the people who watch episode 1 and episode 2. Because of this, it would make sense to, for example, not do whole series because you lose a lot of people, but to do completely new content, completely new games for every video that you make per day. But there's a lot of crap out there that the people make, and I actually really prefer to stick around with a certain Let's Player and, you know, stick all the way through the end and enjoy the adventure together with them. And for example, with that, I really would recommend the This War of Mine Let's Play on my channel. I think it is a superb Let's Play that I did, and I think way better than a lot of Let's Plays that are out there. And for a spoiler, side spoiler, I am actually able to complete the game in my very first try, which is very good, and there are some very, very cool and sad turns during that Let's Play. So definitely, if you have some time over, go and check that one out. It is really one of my better ones. Do you get more views when you have a friend? That was the thing. No, it depends completely on what kind of game it is. So let's say the Dawn of War, Total Warhammer, or not Total Warhammer, the Warhammer game that I did. There was a lot more views for that than, let's say, a Trine video that I did previously. And I just have to say that my subscriber base are people that are more interested in sci-fi than medieval stuff. Now that's fine, and I will continue to provide both, because the big thing, of course, as with my channel, is that I play the games that I want to play myself as well. So even if something like Trine or some other medieval game, or even like Ark, for example, which Ark actually is not a big flop, but the Ark co-op Let's Play, for example, didn't get as many views as a Dawn of War. But, you know, I just love to play them, so I keep continuing to play them, and you know, because if I want to play a game, I will just do it, regardless of if people like it or not. Same thing with what I recently did, where I played with my girlfriend, which actually was pretty good. I love the reactions for that, so there's definitely going to be a part 3 and 4 of that, hopefully soon. Cortex asks, do you like me? Yes. TGC197. Who's Tyler? This is the guy that I met here in Japan. Would you ever travel to America again, and where? Why? Sure. I would love to travel to LA, especially because, of course, I'm doing a film education, and a lot of my friends, since I'm actually going to an American university here in Japan, a lot of people are planning actually to go to LA because they don't have any visa problems. Of course, since I'm Dutch, I will have to get certain visas and certain hassles to actually get there. But the truth is just that there's a lot of work available in LA. Now the problem also is that there's a lot of rivals in LA, because everybody's in the fucking movie business there. But in terms of like opportunities and stuff, the biggest you know, names that you can work with, it's just the case that LA is the best for that. Being a foreigner here in Japan is very difficult to actually get a good filming career started here. It's very, very, very difficult, because here in Japan there's a huge hierarchy with senpai, kohai, where if you are a beginner, your creative input will be smothered immediately. They will not appreciate that. And I actually got into trouble with that already in the past, where I would go to a Japanese language school here in Japan, and my opinion would be different than the teachers. The teacher got mad at me for that. Whereas in the West, we actually, or teachers appreciate it when students have a different opinion, so that they can actually create a discussion together and actually have, philosophical discussions or whatever you want to name it. Whereas here in Japan, always the director or the sensei is always the one that's right regardless. Do you like to do water-related activities like boating, snorkeling, scuba diving, fishing, blah, blah, blah? Yes, I do. I went to the island Aruba, which used to be one of the Dutch colonies, I think. Everybody speaks Dutch there. But basically, no, actually I say Aruba. I went to Bonaire, which is also part of that series of islands. But, oh Jesus Christ. Fuck my life. God damn it. But anyway, I went to Bonaire and I had my very first scuba diving experience there, and I absolutely loved it. I did scuba diving once also when I had a cold. That one really sucked because of course my ears hurt a lot because of the pressure. But I also went snorkeling in America several times. I do say I don't do it as often. I maybe have scuba dived or snorkeling maybe 7, 8 times, but I adore it. I really do love the sea life. I said that in the Ark series as well, that I really wanted them to add more sea creatures, because in so many games the sea parts or the underwater parts get neglected so much. In Arma 3 it's the same exact thing, where they really shouted high with shouted loud with the addition of having divers and underwater combat, but since then nothing has been added to actually make that more entertaining. And also in terms of mods, I still want my fucking shark mod for that game, for an Epic Arma Shark episode. But it doesn't seem to be coming out, so a game that I've been actually really looking forward to, and actually bought it during the Steam sale, and you will see a Let's Play of that hopefully somewhere this year, is the game Subnautica, which is a survival game where you actually go underwater, and it is freaking awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to any people liking the survival genre. Also, what are your favorite kinds of music? I like anything, and literally, like, when I go clubbing here in Japan, I like to listen to trance, hardstyle, techno, that sort of thing. When I'm at home, I like to listen to rock, all the way from pop rock to punk to heavy metal. Depends also, of course, on what state I am. If I'm a little bit angry or sad, heavy metal might be my taste of the day. If I feel happy, I might do some regular pop. So, I like pretty much anything. Maybe not country as much, but yeah, no, I'm a person from all sort of things. Autopilot Gaming asks, why do you live in Japan? Because I really wanted to go here. I love Japanese people. I love Japanese culture. And at first I wanted to learn Japanese so that I could actually interact with Japanese people. Which is something that I'm really glad I did. There's a lot of people on my university that don't speak Japanese very well. There's a guy who was in there's a lot of Americans here that served in the army or the Marines or were stationed here. And there's this guy that lives here for 5 years, so he lives here longer than I do. Doesn't speak a word of Japanese. Yeah, no, I'm very glad I'm not that guy, because I can speak, well, I wouldn't say fluently. I wouldn't be able to do like conversations about politics or that sort of stuff. However, I'm definitely able to do all daily conversation and a little bit more complex stuff than that as well. And just when you also go to the countryside where where nobody speaks English. I mean, here in Tokyo, you can actually get away with a lot of English because a lot of signs and are in English, and some people know English. But in the countryside, forget it. I am able to converse with a lot of the people there, and the people there are actually even nicer than Tokyo people. I mean, Tokyo people are nice and they will help you when you're like lost or you need a question. But Tokyo people are always in a hurry. they're always in a hurry. They're always going somewhere during the day or have a meeting to go to, so they're always in a hurry. And so they will help you, but you will actually have to usually ask for it yourself. It does also happen when they will help you out of your own, but usually you have to ask for it. So I went there and I stayed here because I loved my life here so much here in Japan, and I found this American university where I could study film, so I just continued living here. Doom Noodle, favorite Game of Thrones and Star Wars character. Ooh, now you're talking. Favorite Game of Thrones character. I might talk about spoilers here for season up 1 to 5, so if you don't want to hear that, please skip ahead. Let's see, favorite Game of Thrones character. Oh, it had to be Robb, who's dead. So I really liked how you know, the young wolf or whatever he was called, you know, battled to avenge his father or to free his father. I thought he was very cool. I thought his story too with the forgive me, the names of some of the places and the characters are very difficult, and even after seeing 5 seasons I don't know all of them, but the girl that he eventually married, I thought that story was also very cool, where she told a story about the experience when she was a little girl, where her sister or somebody almost drowned, and the slave actually ended up saving her by pushing her out of the way, which had the death sentence on it, and Robb recognized the honesty and the purity of her, and said that he wanted to marry her, and it really sucked for me when he died. Other than that, I would say Varys. Varys, is that's like the monk, the fat monk looking guy, right? The eunuch. I actually didn't realize it up until this season, but I really missed him because he's not in this season a whole lot. But then when he in the last episode gets back, I was like, yeah, he's back, because I really like how he actually plays the game. He plays the Game of Thrones really well, and I love the characters that do. Tyrion also likes to play the game a lot, and especially that's good to, or you see that well in season 2 and 3. And yeah, no, those characters are good. Littlefinger is also somebody who I really liked. And I also really liked Sansa at first, but I don't like her that much anymore. I really felt pity for her a lot, and I was always hoping for her to get hers, like vengeance on Joffrey or somebody else, and now with Ramsay. But her storyline has been really getting tiring to me, because it's been like depressing for 5 whole seasons, and yeah, I'm kind of ready for that to stop. They need to change the formula with her, hopefully pretty soon. Also, Arya Stark is also freaking badass. I really love her storyline as well, where she goes through all of this and now is learning to become nobody. Favorite Star Wars character? That's a good question. My favorite Star Wars character would be... It might be Yoda, but the Yoda from the old Star Wars movies, not the new ones, where he jumps around like he's a freaking spider monkey. It will be the old one, where he laughs and giggles like the Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama was actually one of the inspirations for the old Yoda. It was kind of funny. You can actually, if you look up videos of the Dalai Lama, you can actually see the resemblance. But also the really cool thing about Yoda itself is how he resembles enlightenment, and there's a lot of Buddhist aspects in Star Wars as well, which I really like. I mean, in the old Star Wars, they call the Force, you know, a religion, and though I don't have anything with religion myself, I do like all these deeper layers that the old Star Wars movies had, and how you know, basically there are forms of like rebirth, you know, with Obi-Wan, who dies but gets, you know, stronger than ever in the afterlife. Yoda, who is, you know, the Messiah, who will teach Luke how to become better, like enlightenment and stuff. And you know, I don't know, it is a really cool aspect of it. I also really like Boba Fett, but I wouldn't say that he's my favorite character. But what I really loved about Boba Fett is how such a small character, who only maybe has 6 or 7 lines in the movie, became such a big deal in the Star Wars universe. And that's why also I think it is a shame that they're going to make a Boba Fett movie, because the whole charm of that character is that he had such a little role and he became so huge. Fusion Gamer asks, when did you first go to Japan? When I was 17. Back then, like I said, I didn't have any interest in Japan in itself. I went to Akihabara to buy some anime stuff, some anime games, and that's pretty much what I did. My mother had to go to Japan for work, and so I went with her, and so it was literally only 1.5 day that I went there. But I went for free, so that was very interesting. Dustin Nebula says, will you do a multiplayer game with your subscribers? Yes, of course I will do Star Wars Battlefront when it comes out with subscribers. Hopefully by that time I will also be doing some Twitch. You know, by that time I will probably have 30,000 subscribers, so that is, I think, a good number to actually start twitching. And yeah, no, I would love it if you guys would join me and some of the other YouTubers that I work with on some matches in Battlefront. Fro asks, am I the best? Yes, you are, Fro. In case you were wondering, Fro made the current art that is seen on my YouTube channel, which is very cool. How long will you do YouTube? And if you became big, would you continue this as a career? Now, what you mean by this question is, would I give up my career as like a filmmaker and do this? The answer for that is simply no. Being a film director, making videos, definitely has my biggest priority. However, ironically, YouTube and making movies actually do have something in common. I was talking about the YouTube space earlier, and one of the reasons why YouTube is doing this, why they're making the YouTube spaces, and why they are allowing YouTubers to use this for free if you're big enough, is because they want to push YouTube to the next level and actually make really good quality, movie quality content there. CNN did a short video documentary about my teacher, my editing teacher, who made a sci-fi horror Japanese style movie. It's not released yet, but he made that with his production studio, and it looks really awesome. And you know, if I could utilize that and, for example, make really good professional content for YouTube with making movies, then it is something that I definitely would be interested in and would actually, you know, be willing to work or have a career from YouTube. But probably what would be smart is to have an own website where I would produce that content. But I do have to say that I do really want to make future length content, so full movies and things like horror movies and stuff. So that definitely has priority. But what's really good about YouTube is that you know, with the money that I make from the commercials, you know, it helps with buying props and that sort of stuff with some of the projects that I was working on for school, some of the movies that I worked on. So I will be doing YouTube for as long as I can, but I don't think it will ever be so big to where I would say, okay, now I have it. Also, what's very important here is that let's say I would do YouTube as a main thing. I would not be able to stay in Japan because it's not a valid visa thing. Currently, I have a student visa here, so I need to go to school. If I don't go to school, I need to leave the country. Then after that, I hopefully can get a working visa, which means I have to work. If I don't work, I can't go. YouTube is not a valid thing. Maybe if you can find a company that needs some PR, that needs some public relations, and they want a YouTube channel set up, and you know, they want you to work for them, they can maybe get you a sponsor or a visa, and then you can work while making YouTube videos for that company. I'm currently talking to a producer, a Japanese producer, and I'm going to start I'm going to help him with ASM or massage videos, which is something I actually also want to do because it's very easy money. Basically, a lot of people watch massage videos, and these are regular massage videos, not happy ending massage videos or any other erotic, evolved sort of things. But if, for example, you are watching Rooster Teeth, the guys behind Red vs. Blue, They talk sometimes about an Indian guy called Baba, and if you search for the best head massage in the world, you get this awesome Indian guy that performs a head massage in a very unique way, and it has more than like 1 million views or something. And this producer was very interested in that, since you get money pretty easy from that, and I had a lot of ideas for doing massage videos because I actually do like massages. I get them a lot here. Not the wrong kind, but I definitely had some ideas of filming some stuff, and actually this weekend we're going to be filming the very first video for that, and he said that I would be getting 30% for the stuff that I help him with, and maybe if it even gets bigger, you know, I can get into the company, he will give me more money, and get me set up there. Maybe if my current YouTube channel, so my Konoha, my Let's Play channel, gets so big to where for example, I would be getting, I don't know, $5,000 per month or something, you know, then maybe I would do that as a main thing, because I get way more money from just doing that than from actually doing, you know, real, really a full-time job sort of thing. I realize that some people also say YouTube, but you know what I mean. Jackie Zhang asks, are you interested in old or new games? Both. I would definitely say that Shy, for example, is more interested in old games. No, I prefer both old and new games. Currently, though, it is, of course, the summertime, so not a whole lot of games are coming out, so definitely expect me to focus more on older games until it is, like, August/September. Daniel Joseph asks, what is it like in Japan? It is awesome, but as I said, I'm not a weeboo, so it does have its negative points, but all those negative points, if you weight it up to the positive points, it is the most awesome place I have been to. Give me that money! Thank you. Give me that meat. He has more questions. Will you be doing games with your subscribers again like you did with Full Invasion 2? Yes, Battlefront will definitely be one of them. I definitely, with subscribers, I would do games that involve a lot more people. So not co-op games like, let's say, a Borderlands or something, where communication is very, very dire. I would definitely do games like a Battlefield type of thing, where, you know, it's like 32 versus 32. So that a lot more people could play. Oh shit, hold on. Is that the Dilophosaurus? No. It's a pterodactyl. Will you ever do a Let's Play of Star Wars Empire at War, any other mods? Yes. Are you excited for the new Total War game? Yes, I am. But before that, of course, Shy and I need to do Rome Total War 2. So he said that he's done with Sega games, which I don't know how serious he is about that. If he is indeed done with Total War games or Sega games, and then I will need to do Rome 2 Total War on my own. What is your most favorite type of game? Ooh, very interesting that you say this. So it changes from time to time. So I would say I love RPGs a lot, but I also had a time where I was very tired of RPGs because not a whole lot of change came through. What I really like nowadays is that they have a lot of blending. So a lot of RPGs have, for example, shooting elements and RPG leveling elements, and I think that is something that's really good. A favorite type of game? Ooh. I would have. Oh God, crocodile. I would definitely say RPGs would be my favorite. Things like Dark Souls and stuff, I just adore so much. JRPGs are fun too, but have way too little change in what's going on. They really need to step up their game. For example, Final Fantasy 13 I thought sucked balls. But yeah, no, definitely RPGs, but they can be RPGs with like shooting elements or more action-oriented, like Dark Souls itself. And I also love horror games, but I'm very strict on what I like with horror games. For example, the Colot game didn't really interest me all that much, whereas Outlast did. Haha. Stevie Monster Blaster asks, can you do an escape the island scenario again? No, that is for Epic Arma. Sure. Tanny Boy asks, will you start a new series of Star Wars Battlefront? I don't think he's, or actually, well, I don't know. Is she talking about Battlefront 3? Maybe not. So what I was thinking about actually doing to honor Battlefront is to actually, maybe somewhere in August, redo a Let's Play of Battlefront 2. Just a campaign. And call it like the Road to Battlefront. Because we're almost then at Battlefront, you know, the new one released by EA. And to like, just honor the whole Battlefront franchise, to revisit that Let's Play. Also because it's the very first Let's Play that I completed on my channel, which is also very special to me. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to do something cool with that. I'll also be able actually be planning to do the PSP versions to kind of check out how they are. Ryan Daniels asks, how is your life going? Pretty well, good sir, pretty well. Though my foot is broken, so that is of course a little less, but that gives me more time to play video games. Though tomorrow I have a very busy day where I have a I will probably spend all day from freaking 8 a.m. to probably midnight working on a movie project where I am the script supervisor and set designer. See, how it works with school and stuff is that you get different positions each time. So even though I want to be film directing, you have to do several parts or several roles in the film business, just in case you are also interested in something else. For example, editing I think is also very cool and is something that I might look into. We're almost done, people. We only got 2 more questions left. One is from a William Lydon, or Leiden. Why do you live in Japan? I know you're studying there, but is there another reason? I love the people, love the food. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, what the fuck is a quinoa? I explained this earlier. A quinoa is a variation on Clonoa, which is a game, by the way, which I never played. I should play that game, actually. I owe it to it. My name. Very last question. Zachary Hunter. In Japan, is the Women's World Cup big, and how bad do they want to play the USA? The Women's World Cup is very big. Currently, of course, the World Cup is over. USA won, but back when it was going in a lot of supermarkets, a lot of convenience stores, there were posters supporting the women's team of Japan. There were several actions where you can get items, and back when I went to the doctor to actually check on my broken foot, the nurse was actually watching the World Cup while she was waiting, and it was right when Japan was against Holland, and of course I'm Dutch, so we talked a little bit about how you know, Holland is usually pretty strong on the men's team, not too strong on the women's team though, but it is kind of the opposite here in Japan, where the men's team of football is actually quite weak, but the female team is very strong. And back in, I think, 2011 or whenever it was, they beat the USA. So there was a lot of at stake here in Japan. So a lot of everybody pretty much was focused on that finale. But the USA won. So you know, congrats to them. And you got to give it to one thing to the Japanese, is that when Holland actually loses on a World Cup, all the Dutch people are also angry at the Dutch players, and you know, they're like, well, you know, that was it, they kind of let us down, so we'll just let them be. Whereas even if the Japanese team actually plays pretty horribly, whenever they get back to Japan, a lot of Japanese people are awaiting them on the airport and are clapping for them and are supporting them, even though they didn't play to their expectations, but their support is very good. So that is something that I really like. And with that, we came to the end, and I believe this is a video that's longer than an hour, but I pretty much knew that it would be like that. So I hope you really enjoyed this this answer video. I thank you guys so much for your questions. We had so much interesting things to talk about. My mouth is dry as hell, so I'm going to grab a Fanta and go and render out this video to upload it. And then of course after that we're going back to the old schedule, where we have some very cool Epic Arma stuff and other series coming up pretty soon. So thank you again so much for all your support. You have been awesome, 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 awesome. And yeah, we'll probably see you guys back in the 30,000 subscriber video. But until that time, have a good one.